There we go. Tied at 10, not anymore. This time, ratified is down. Here in double O2. We'll go at it again inside. Tampa Bay Gators are going to crash hole 19.
Time is happening in the tournament since 2000.
Welcome, fans of Toy Car Demolition Derby. It is time for our April 15th edition of CDL Live to take place. Got some D-League games to run through before we get you down the field for our classic, should be an instant classic, Pacific Division rivalry that is leading today off. Nevada Thunder, Los Angeles Blades. Two teams that really don't like each other and met up in the semifinals of the Western Conference playoffs just last season. That being said, though, Development League scores go through on this April 15th game day. Toronto getting the win over Rochester 15-5. Edmonton beating Vancouver by the same tally. Anaheim getting the win over Utah in overtime. Alaska upsetting Oakland. Kind of a shock there. It happened in overtime, though. So Oakland still getting the point from it. Baltimore with the win over Orlando 15-5. You try saying that 5 times fast. Baltimore beats Orlando. How about that? Anyways. Syracuse and Montreal as close as they could get, 15-15. That game ended in a tie. Memphis and Winnipeg, they went into overtime. Memphis getting the win in the end. Kansas City beating Cincinnati by a final of 15-5. And Alex Johnson defeating Brandon 15-5 in the D-League scores, with Oklahoma City beating Mexico City. Little Rock, Calgary, and Richmond all had a bye on this April 15th game day in the Development League, which, of course, now leads to the pros. We've got the Nevada Thunder and the Los Angeles Blades ready to go head-to-head. Both of them fighting for playoff spots. Well, let's put it this way. As of right now, we got LA fighting for the number 1 seed in the conference, and Nevada fighting for a playoff spot pretty much. Only 2 points ahead of that 9th seed, sitting in the 7th seed right now. So some big-time crucial stuff and whatnot. Big matches all throughout this game day. Roswell and Chicago is going to be live here too. Gowanda and Philadelphia, our main event. But Thunder and Blades, let's get down to the field. Welcome down to the field, CDL fans, for our first featured event here on this April 15th edition of CDL Live, a Pacific Division rivalry making its way to the field today. Should be a very fun matchup. 2 out of our 3 games today are divisional, of course, and this one should definitely be a great one. 2 really good teams going head-to-head here. Possible playoff rematch to come in 2016, perhaps. But the Nevada Thunder and the Los Angeles Blades going head-to-head today. Just last year, the 2 teams met in the Western Conference semifinals, best-of-5 series. The Blades won that series 3-1. Nevada looking for a little revenge today. They come into this game day a record of 12 wins, 5 losses, 1 tie, and 4 overtime losses. As for the Los Angeles Blades, a pretty impressive record in their own right, currently holding the top spot in the Western Conference. 17 wins, 3 losses, no ties, and 2 overtime losses. Nevada currently the 7th seed in the West with 42 points. Los Angeles 53 points. They are the top seed in the West and just 3 points behind the Philadelphia Demons for first place in the league. And that being said, we will be seeing Philadelphia play in our main event against Gowanda today. So, could have somewhat of a change under the guard, so to speak, but just to think, too, Philadelphia has a bye on the next game day. So, big game for both Philly and LA here. And also for Nevada, is when we take a look at it, the Nevada Thunder sitting just 2 points ahead of 9th-seeded Dallas, who would just love to take their playoff spot from them, basically. So, yes, things very close in the Western Conference, as a matter of fact. just 6 points separating the Nevada Thunder from 13th place in the standings, and 6 points separating them from 6th place in the standings. So definitely a must win, or a really needy win, I guess you could say, for the Thunder here today. Would definitely love to beat their rivals, I'm sure. That being said, let's get a look at the lineups. Nevada Thunder, Los Angeles Blades.
I love LA. Big Bad California. Yes. Still applies to me. Everybody got something to say.
Alright folks, got those lineups, and the first two cars out there, the front runners of both sides, ready to lead the way. White Indy out there first for the Nevada Thunder, and is Pink Indy Jr. rather, leading the way for the Los Angeles Blades. So Pink Indy Jr. and White Indy has a flip, 5-0 Thunder in the lead. So that will bring out far future now for the Los Angeles Blades. Ready to go at it here, and almost going down. White Indy able to stay up, as is far future. The battle continuing here. Offense versus defense. Again, both cars staying up, keeping their own sides as the battle carries on. Good fight so far, and this time Far Future has a flip on White Indy. So the score tied at 5 apiece. That brings out Yellow Spider for the Nevada Thunder. Yellow Spider, solid smash mouth car, and both him and Far Future are down, so we got a 10-10 game here on this April 15th opener here. Now the 2015 Rookie of the Year, that is Hornet out there for the Nevada Thunder, goes up against Gowanda of the Los Angeles Blades. I believe 2014 MVP, if I remember correctly. These two going head to head, both cars very good at defense, very effective at defense. This time Gowanda able to stay up. Has to switch sides here though. Now from the visitor side of the field against Hornet, who does a good spin maneuver, able to stay up and in it. The battle continuing. Gowanda and Hornet here, and Hornet, a good survival tactic there, able to stay up. Both cars hanging on here. Game tied at 10. And this is a Nevada-Los Angeles game that there is no doubt, and Hornet has a flip. So Nevada now in the lead, 15-10, and now Hornet looks to put the game away. This will now take on Cove Light, who's trying to force overtime for the Blades. And he does just that. We are heading into OT, and Cove Light, how good is that car? One of the best 5-point gainers, if not the best 5-point gainer in the league. Now takes on Grasshopper from the Nevada side. We are in overtime, tied at 15, and almost had a flip there. Cove Light surviving. Going at it this time, and this time Cove Light getting a good flip from the visitor side of the field, and the game comes to its end. 20-15 the final score in overtime. The Los Angeles Blades find a way to get a win here today over the Nevada Thunder, and what a game that we just witnessed. Deep fry me a Twinkie, folks, and save it for the main event, because this is a sign of things to come. Definitely can't wait to get down to it. But that being said, next featured event. Out of breath. It's a bad sign, Jimbo, but needless to say, our next featured event, the Roswell Aliens on the road against the Chicago Wind Attack. So, what lies ahead for the LA Blades now with that win? Well, it's a good win to have, definitely no doubt about it, because by the end of this game day, they could be tied for first place in the league and have a shot at taking first place in the league on the April 18th game day. That being said, they go 18-3-0-2. And their next matchup that they get prepared for, they'll be home against the Portland Panthers. Needless to say, not a very easy opponent to take on. Of course, in the Pacific Division right now, Portland 5th in the Western Conference at the moment. It was actually only 3 points behind the Blades coming into this game day, so huge game right there on the next game day. It won't be on our featured events. but needless to say, try to switch it up. As for the Nevada Thunder, their next game on tap, home against the San Diego Lightning on the April 18th game day. Again, neither games will be featured. They're going to be in the highlight reel. And speaking of highlight reels, we're about to head into one. Our first set of highlights coming up here on CDL Live, and then we'll be back with the Aliens and the Wind Attack. So stay tuned. Well, folks, the only way we were getting any closer was with a tie, with 20-15 in overtime by the skin of their teeth. The Los Angeles Blades finding a way to get the win over the Nevada Thunder. That being said, time to move on to some highlights from around the league. Our first set of highlights, some big-time games going on all across the league. Only Portland and Buffalo had a bye today. Two big teams on a bye, so opportunities for some teams to take advantage of, like San Francisco. Easy game against Seattle. They could maybe get a little gap between them and Portland, per se. But needless to say, let's go on ahead, get through this first set of highlights. So we start off our highlight reel today with the two worst teams in the league, Detroit and Atlanta, and Black Dragon, though. Boy, he could have fooled you. Let me just put it that way. Getting the flip on Clown right away, and then out there getting the flip on Black Marinello just as well. But 40 would keep Atlanta alive. The last place team, Atlanta, keep them alive. And out there against Cloud Cutter now, and we would have a good battle between these two. Some good survival tactics by both cars, and we are about to see an amazing defensive move right here by Cloud Cutter, able to somehow stay up as we see this in slow motion yet again. Able to stay in the fight. Cloud Cutter trying to get the game winner, and he has it right here. 15-5 the final score. The Detroit Devils finding a way to get the win over the Atlanta Avengers. Good win for the Devils, but I wouldn't be hoping for a playoff spot, folks, if you're a supporter. But should have an early draft pick, but a 2-1 day for Black Dragon and 1-0 day for Cloud Cutter. And they get the win over the Atlanta Avengers. So we keep it in the Eastern Conference. Jacksonville Bangums and the Bradford Brawlers. It was a good game, and Gold and Testarossa would be the first two cars out there, both taking each other down. We had a 5-5 game now. Uncle Sam and Zap going at it, and Zap will get the upper hand right here. So the score, 10-5. Jacksonville in the lead, but enters Spinebuster now for the Bradford side. Good little fight that they will have, but in the end, Spinebuster too much for him. Now out there against Black Spectite from the Jacksonville side. Game tied at 10 here as these two defensive cars would go at it. And in the end, it's going to be Spinebuster prevailing. So the Brawlers now up 15-10. Brings out 76 for Jacksonville from their 5-point gainer spot. And he would force overtime. So 76 out there for the Bangums. And Escalade out there for the Brawlers. Two heavyweight cars going head-to-head here. Obviously, Escalade probably the heaviest in the league. But in the end, there's no advantage to be had. Both cars going down, and this one ends in a tie. 15-15, the final score between the Brawlers and the Bangums. So we head to the West now for the first time in our highlight reel. Seattle Lumberjacks, San Francisco Shinobis, F3 taking down Mantis to start this game. 5-0 San Francisco, trying to take advantage of Portland's bye. But out came this car, Dark Dragon. He's got some potential for this squad, no doubt about it. Seattle has something to look forward to. Ties the game up right here. Now battling it out with Spectite Jr. Able to stay up a couple of good times, and this time had a flip on on Spectite Jr. So 10-5, Seattle in the lead. And look at this pretty move by Dark Dragon. And the battle carries on, but not very much longer. Like I said, hope might be bleak for Seattle this season, but a good flip right there. Seattle getting the upset win over the Shinobis. A 3-0 day for Dark Dragon from the middleman spot. Lumberjacks get the win over San Francisco, 15-5. Huge upset and huge potential out of one little car there. Moving back to the East, where the Carolina Wildcats have been playing well lately. Shell out there for Green Bay against Dragon Jr., and both cars would take each other down to start this thing off. Now Inquisitor out there for Green Bay takes down Mellow 51 right there. So we had a 10-5 Green Bay game. But Wen is on point today. getting the flip there, tying things up at 10 now out here against Toy Soldier, and we are going to see it on the second collision. Gets the flip and makes defense look pretty. Mama put him in the K-pop video when in his rookie season. Big ups to him now going for the win against Rocket Oil here, and it does not take long. Going off screen, Wen is able to stay up here. Rocket Oil, the former Carolina Wildcat, is down, and Carolina pulling off the upset over Green Bay. Green Bay starting to slump a little, but Carolina turning it on at the right time. A 3-0 day for Wen from the captain spot. 15-10 the final. Carolina defeats Green Bay. So we go back to the west. San Antonio Kings, Nashville Nighthawks. Sweet 16, impressive today as we are about to see. And looking for the upset here today. Has the flip on No Fear, and then out there against Orange Chevelle, able to tie him. Sweet 16 having a 1-0-1 day. Giving Motorblade Jr. the chance to try for the win, but has to go up against Extinguish, aka the unflippable one, doing his business, tying the game up at 10. Now out there against RPG, and look at the survival technique that we are about to see from Extinguish. Yes, do a barrel roll. Let's see that one in slow motion. Extinguish able to somehow stay upright here, but in the end, RPG gonna put him on his side, and 15-10 San Antonio, but not so fast. It was a Kodak moment, and he would be out there against Black Testarossa 2, but this might be a Kodak moment that Kodak doesn't want to remember right there. Goes down, and the Kings, the last place San Antonio Kings, defeat the Nashville Nighthawks, and by last place I mean last place in the West, but the final score 20-15 in overtime. Big upset right there. Of course, Nashville trying to fight for the top spot in the Central with Chicago right now, so tough loss for the Nighthawks to take. So we move on to a matchup between the New Mexico Monsters and the Denver Mustangs, and from the visitor side of the field, Monkey Ball making his impact felt, getting the flip on Purple Custo pretty much right away. 5-0 Monsters in the lead, but that brought out 24 hours, and 24 hours going to be able to tie it up here. So all knotted at 5, bringing out X-Wing. And X-Wing in 24 hours would put on a show, as you can see here. Some great stuff out of both cars, and right there, a beautiful flip. Somehow 24 hours, able to stay up. He starts his day off 2-0, but then runs into Futurama. You will not enjoy this, but it will be over quickly, is what he says. Getting the flip right away to tie this game up for New Mexico. Now out there against Red Detta, able to get a tie with him, so it sends us into overtime. Blue 512 out there for Denver. Governor 2 out there for New Mexico, and Governor 2 so close to interference to keep the game going. Can't touch up with his teammates, and the game comes to its end. 20-15 the final in overtime. Denver Mustangs been playing pretty good since the trade deadline when they made that move, getting rid of Teardrop and picking up 24 hours. So they found something right in Denver. Keeping it in the West, Dallas Lone Stars and the Indianapolis Reapers. Watts up out there against Phoenix, start things off, and Phoenix off to a good start, and you see him here pulling off an amazing move as he's got the Reapers up 5-0 and trying to get them up 10-0, but look at that. Do a breakdance somehow, able to stay up and then get the flip, so a 2-0 start for Phoenix, the rookie of the Reapers, and now out there against the hot rookie from the Dallas Lone Stars, that is Reptile, getting the flip there immediately pretty much. Now out there against Blue Indy, interference there, came close to getting a flip. Blue Indy definitely putting up a good fight as we see a great defensive maneuver here. Somehow Blue Indy able to stay up, trying to go for the win here against Reptile, but Reptile just going to be too much for him in the end, as you are about to see. Able to get a flip and does a nice move in order to stay up in that, but now takes on the veteran Gold Z28 from the Indianapolis side, and Gold Z28 and Reptile had a good fight, but Gold Z28 getting the flip on the rookie. Now out there against Purple 300 ZX, and only a couple of collisions here is all it would take for Gold Z28 to get the game winner flip right there. So final score 15-10. I was about to say 20-15. No, 15-10. Indianapolis Reapers hanging on for the win. Almost a comeback by Dallas there, but Gold Z28's 2-0 day, getting the job done for the Indianapolis Reapers. 15-10, they defeat the Lone Stars. And we end our first set of highlights with the Miami Mafia looking for the upset over the Dayton Rebels, and we see Monkey Ball out here against El Rey, both cars down in slow motion. Unbelievable stuff as they were both taken down. It was pretty though. Neon now taking on Zapper, and Neon will get the flip on Zapper, but Dayton, no fear, because you have Toe getting that pretty little flip right there, able to pull off a great defensive maneuver himself. So we get a look in slow-mo here as we see another just beautiful flip right there in this game. Aqua Chevelle now out there against Toe, and we are about to see a very close one here, folks. Toe come very close to an interference. Let's get another look at just how close Toe comes here. He is down though, 15-10 Miami in the lead. Sub-Zero getting the tie collision there, and then a pretty move by Aqua Chevelle as he was trying to put the game away here and able to stay up, but Sub-Zero, a tough customer to face. We've seen him do good from that front runner spot lately, playing at normal 5-point gainer position, able to stay up there, and not just that, able to force overtime, as you are going to see here. Nice move by Sub-Zero, forcing OT, and he would go head-to-head with Mach 6 in overtime. So Mach 6 going down and way off screen. Yes, Sub-Zero still up. A 2-0 day from the 5-point gainer spot. And when you got a card that is so versatile, you can use them at front runner or 5-point gainer, you have a true threat right there. Dayton has that in Sub-Zero. He went 2-0 today. Dayton Rebels escaping this one, getting the win in overtime. 20-15 the final. They defeat the Mafia. And folks, we are back from that first set of highlights, ready to get into our mid-feature here. The Roswell Aliens on the road against Chicago Wind Attack. I remember when these two went head-to-head in the 2011 Western Conference Finals. Pretty good series. Went a full 3 games in the best out of 3, and Roswell in the end able to pull it off and make it to Crash Bowl 15. Of course, that was years and years ago, 5 years ago, but needless to say, the two teams go head-to-head here today, and it always seems to be a great match when these two meet up. Aliens, Wind Attack. Let's get down to the field.
This is game time and it's game time. Let the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defied.
And back down to the field we go here in the Car Demolition League. Our next game here going to take place on CDL Live, our April 15th edition, and it should be a great matchup. Matter of fact, you wouldn't think by what I'm about to say. Last year's playoffs, first round matchup, Roswell Aliens swept the Chicago Wind Attack out of the playoffs. Now, on paper that makes it seem, oh, well, it's one-sided. Well, needless to say, every single one of those 4 games went into overtime. And now Chicago, a new 5-point gainer there in the back there. That's Synchro, who they got from New Mexico, looking to be the difference maker. The Roswell Aliens looking just to win and hang on to their playoff spot that they currently have. They came into this game day sitting at the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Let's get a look at their records here. The Roswell Aliens coming into this game day here today with a record of 11 wins, 6 losses, 3 ties, and 2 overtime losses. And they go up against a team that is currently 2nd place in the Western Conference, the Chicago Wind Attack. A straight-up record, no ties or OT losses for Chicago. 17 wins, 5 losses on the season for the Wind Attack, who are trying to keep up with the Los Angeles Blades, who we just saw get a win in that last game here, that game against Nevada. So, coming to the game day with 51 points on the season and trying to close the gap back down to 2 is Chicago. So both teams with their reasons to want to play, and both of them looking like, hey, they just might face each other in the first round again. That being said, should be a very entertaining matchup. Roswell Aliens, Chicago Wind Attack. Let's get a look at the lineups.
We will begin transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Phone home! Phone home! Phone home! Phone home!
something to also keep in mind is the first two cars are out there. Roswell and New Orleans with 41 points. They are tied for the top spot in the Southern Division. So huge game for Roswell because they could become the number 3 seed with the win and per se a New Orleans loss, and New Orleans at Minnesota in a little bit. So that could be a game. That could be a close one. We've seen upsets today, folks, no doubt about it. Dayton came close, but San Antonio beating Nashville, Carolina beating Green Bay, Seattle beating San Francisco. They have happened today. F1 Racer leading the way for the Roswell Aliens, though, out there against Blue Dragon from the Chicago Wind Attack, and Blue Dragon's down 5-0. Roswell in the lead. And that will bring out highlight for the Wind Attack. And this is where the defense comes into play for Chicago, and almost a flip there. F1 Racer on point today. The opportunity's coming his way. He's got a flip. 10-0 Roswell in the lead. And that will bring out R for the Wind Attack. Looking to keep his team in the game. Off screen stays up that time. So switching sides here. There was no interference as R tries to keep the Wind Attack in this matchup, and the interference that time saves F1 Racer. So both cars going back to their own sides. They'll continue their fight. R and F1 Racer having a pretty good battle right now. F1 Racer getting shoved back a little bit here. R starting to get some offensive ground, if you will. So the matchup continues. It's a 10-0 game. And R trying to keep the Wind Attack alive in this thing. And all F1 Racer needs for the win is a tie with R here. Both cars clashing and no interference there. F1 Racer came close, but he serves donuts for dinner. R is down 15-0 the final score. The Roswell Aliens getting the shutout win over the Chicago Wind Attack. Deep fry me a Twinkie. I did not see that one coming. Didn't think it would be that dominant, but F1 Racer finding a way to dominate this game, and Chicago folds here on this game day. And they had a little streak going. They did. Chicago did, but it comes to an end here today as they go to 17-6 on the season and will remain at 51 points. One thing that did work out to their advantage is that Nashville also took a loss today. So maybe that's kind of what took Chicago off their heels a little, perhaps, that knowledge. But at the same time, you always try to win, and that's exactly what the Roswell Aliens managed to do today. F1 Racer serving the donuts for dinner with a side of bagels on top. That being said, only one more game that's going to be featured here, our main event, and it's a classic rivalry from the North East Division. Gowanda Outlaws, Philadelphia Demons, John Good against Tim Giesser. We're taking it back to 2002. My goodness, but needless to say, should be a very fun matchup. And that was back in the day when John Good was the veteran in the league, and Tim Giesser was the rookie. Going back in the day, folks, going back in the day. So that being said, that is our main event, but first, we got more highlights to go through, so stay tuned. Lots of action still to come here on CDL Live. Oh, before we do head on to those highlights, what comes up next for both teams? Many might wonder. For the Roswell Aliens, they'll look to ride the momentum of this win. Their next game on the road against the St. Louis Twisters. Chicago Wind Attack will be hosting the San Antonio Kings. Both those games on that next game day, the April 18th game day. So, that being said, yes, more highlights coming up. And then our main event, Outlaws and Demons. So stay tuned, folks.
Well, it might be a good match most of the time, but certainly the Roswell Aliens had different plans today. Straight up domination, 15-0, serving donuts with bagels and biscuits for dinner. Getting the job done in a shutout. And that being said, only the Gowanda Outlaws and the Philadelphia Demons remain, and that's our, of course, main event. But, of course, we've got highlights. That second set of highlights that we always do. So, let's go back around the league and show you the rest of what happened here on this April 15th game day. Starting off our second half of highlights, Puerto Rico Playas and the Pittsburgh Destroyers, and we see Blue BMW battling out here with Black Star to start this game. And Blue BMW might have been with Syracuse in the D-League, but he is a former pro and shows that he still got it. And not only that, going to be out here against Green Blaze Jr. and able to take Green Blaze Jr. down. So a 2-0 start for Blue BMW. Now takes on Black Lena. Sometimes he feels like the world's on his shoulders. Can you blame him? Black Lena happened to try to do a lot of this stuff by himself this year, but gets the flip on Blue BMW. Now out there against Zebra, takes him down, tying the game up at 10 apiece. Enter WA17. Another car with some pro experience, but spent a lot of time in the D League, but gets a chance here. Look at that, in slow motion. Black Lena able to stay up and in the fight, and the fight would continue on quite a little bit longer. Definitely Black Lena giving Puerto Rico chances, no doubt about that, but in the end, WA17, finally his will just prevails, I guess you could call it. Now out there against Solar Reflex, and yet again, Solar Reflex's struggles continue from the 5-point gainer spot. WA17 on point today, getting the job done when he had to. 2-0 day from the captain spot for him. 15-10, the Destroyers hang on to beat the Puerto Rico Plays. Now to the Western Conference, New Orleans Gladiators, Minnesota Maniacs, and Golden Rat was the car on point today and had to fight his way to success. Out here against Diablo 2, gets a good flip against him. Now out here against Red Racer, good battle between these two, and how close right here to an interference. Red Racer is down, and he's called down. 10-0 scored, but so close to interference. Black Spinebuster out here trying to keep Minnesota in the game, and a tie collision ends it right there. A 2-0-1 day for Golden Rat. All he needed in the end was a tie, and he got it. 15-5 the final score. The Gladiators find a way to get the win over the Minnesota Maniacs. So moving on, the Tampa Bay Gators on the road against the Milwaukee Mob, still in hunt of that top spot in the Southeast Division. Battle has them off to a good start, taking down Hot Tub Jr. and almost going down there and interfered and saving him, but in the end, Monty Jr. does get the flip on Battle here, and we were tied at 5. So Monty Jr. looking to get the lead now for Milwaukee against 48 Hours, but 48 Hours, he is a beast today, able to get the flip on Monty Jr., basically using the heavyweight's own momentum against him, and now against Cartman, takes the rookie down immediately in 48 Hours. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Gators, the defending Eastern Conference champions, getting the win. 15-5 the final score, a 2-0 day for 48 Hours. Back to the West we go. Houston Oilers, St. Louis Twisters. For the Twisters, it was Silver Indy leading the way, and he would have a great matchup with Nickel and Diamond from the Oilers side, as we are about to see to start this game off. Both cars showing some great stuff. Look at that defensive maneuver by Silver Indy, somehow able to stay up, doing a little break dance. And both cars just putting on a great show, but Silver Indy in the end would get the flip. Now out there against White Ferrari. He has the flip on White Ferrari quickly. Now out there against Racer X, and an interference saving Racer X right there. He would be in the game still, but not for much longer. Quick trip to the bakery shop right there. If I can just think of good ship lollipop. Yeah, that's the kind of good feeling that any St. Louis Twisters fan could have right here. Silver Indy going 3-0, serving donuts for dinner, or maybe serving lollipops too. Whatever. 3-0 day for Silver Indy. We move on. So the fun continues here on this April 15th game day. New Jersey Bandits, Boston Vandals, and Blue Dragon 2 on point today, as we will see him get an early flip here on Kid Custom after just a couple of collisions here. So it was a 5-0 game in favor of Boston. Now out there against Pink Lamborghini, my bad. But a quick flip, doesn't matter, he was out of the game right away as he takes out Power Pistons. And right there, Wood had the flip on Power Pistons. More donuts for dinner here, folks. 15-0 the final score. The Boston Vandals, they've been hot as of late, getting the win over the New Jersey Bandits. 15-0 the final. 3-0 day for Blue Dragon 2. So we move on to a Pacific Division battle. San Jose Storm home against the San Diego Lightning, and Teardrop would get sat down right away by Charizard. 5-0 Storm in the lead. Charizard now went head-to-head with Dirty Snow, and Dirty Snow got a couple of good chances. Well, this one really good chance, but then this time both cars would get a chance, but it'd be Charizard taking the advantage. Way off screen, Dirty Snow was down. 10-0 the score, and Hot Goat, the rookie, can't get nothing going here. Charizard's momentum was just like a downhill roller coaster ride. That momentum going, you ain't stopping it. Charizard going 3-0. More donuts served for dinner here in our second half of highlights. 15-0. The San Jose Storm getting the win over the San Diego Lightning. So we move on to a battle in the North East Division. New York Empire, Hartford Homies, redemption out there against Enzo 1, and both cars down to start this game off, which brought out Challenge, who would take down 46 Jr. Now out there against Indy 5 from the Hartford side, and this would go as a good flip, but it would be under review in order to reach that decision. Let's get a look. Was there an interference? Did Indy 5 make contact? Under review, the ruling on the field stood. Good flip, so tied at 10. Indy 5 out there for the homies, and the franchise. Black Bullet 2 out there for the New York Empire, and let the fun begin, because we had a great matchup between these two cars. Both cars staying relatively stable, low to the field, pulling off the spin maneuvers, but in the end, as you're going to see, the franchise, Black Bullet 2, coming through, and then out here quickly against Silver and Black Tack Jr., who was trying to force overtime. Black Bullet 2 getting the job done. 2-0 day for him from the captain spot, and that's all he had to do. New York Empire getting the win, and a big win for them. 15-10 the final. They defeat the Hartford Homies. So keeping it in the East and moving on to the Washington Patriots and the Cleveland Wolves, and Red Ferrari Jr. trying to help Washington keep their pace over the Tampa Bay Gators, off to a good start, taking down Aqua Ferrari, now taking down Octanium just as easily out there against Bully Goat, and Bully Goat offering a little challenge here. Look at this move by Bully Goat. Gotta give him some ups on this. Able to stay up, and I think he avoided the interference there too, but to no avail. Gets taken down there. Red Ferrari Jr. on point today. And yeah, till he collapses, he's filling the raps launch again. Anyway, yeah. We'll let Eminem rap instead. So, but needless to say, a 3-0 day for Red Ferrari Jr. 15-0. The Washington Patriots serve the Wolves donuts for dinner. And we cap our highlight reel in the West. Phoenix Firebirds and Idaho Cowboys already 0-2, saving himself with the interference, but there was no running from Green Arrow, able to get the flip right there. 5-0 score now out there against MX Dragster, and too easy. Green Arrow getting the flip. 10-0 Firebirds with Green Arrow looking good, and Governor now trying to keep the Cowboys alive in this thing. Of course, both teams are fighting for that final playoff spot right now. Phoenix fighting for their division, and definitely looked like they were playing with a little bit more incentive, if you will. 2-0-1 day for Green Arrow from the front runner spot. Give them ups for that. 15-5 the final score. Firebirds getting the win over the Cowboys.
Well, folks, we are set up now for this main event to take place. The Gowanda Outlaws going on the road against the Philadelphia Demons. Tim Giesser's squad there, one of his squads. But needless to say, classic North East Division rivalry. Should be a fun game to watch. And these two have butted heads over the years, but needless to say, should be an excellent game. Philadelphia Demons trying to widen their gap over the rest of the Eastern Conference. And as for the Gowanda Outlaws, looking to keep that race for the 4th seed in the East close and keep it tight. So Outlaws, Demons, let's get down to the field.
This is game time, and it's game time, let the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defied.
And we are back down on the field, CDL fans, for our main event, ready to take place. The Philadelphia Demons home against their Northeast Division rivals, the Gowanda Outlaws. The Outlaws currently, well, at least coming into this game day, they sit 5th place in the Eastern Conference with the record of 14 wins, 8 losses, no ties, 1 overtime loss. The Philadelphia Demons, they come into this game day sitting 1st place in the Car Demolition League. 18 wins, 3 losses, no ties, 2 overtime losses. So the thing is, they got the LA Blades right on their tail for that 1st place spot in the Car Demolition League. LA getting the win to get up to 56 points today, which is just where the Demons are. So with the win today, the Demons can keep that sole possession. If they lose this one, it'll be a tie for first. Of course, that's in regulation, but keep in mind the Demons have a bye week coming up, or not a bye week, but a day off on the 18th is their bye. They don't play the next game day. So that being said, big game for the Philadelphia Demons is, of course, they would like to keep a 3-point gap over the Blades heading into their bye. As for the Gowanda Outlaws, looking for a big win here today. Like I said, sitting 5th place in the Eastern Conference. The Empire got a win, so they're looking to keep up with the 4th place Empire, and plus Boston got a win. So Gowanda trying to keep or hang on to 5th place in the East right now. So big game for both sides. Is basically, it's kind of an interesting matchup. Tim Giesser traded both Sonic Boom and Hammer away to the Gowanda Outlaws. They were on the Hartford Homie squad, but he worked his line so that he could make the trade, and in exchange got Green Demon for the Philadelphia Demons with that 3rd overall pick of the draft. So both teams on the field with what they traded, whoever they traded for. So basically is how I'm going to say it. That being said, we should be in for an entertaining battle. Keep in mind, Hammer and Sonic Boom met up with the Philadelphia Demons just last year in the playoffs as Hartford Homies. The Hartford Homies swept the Philadelphia Demons in the 2nd round, 3-0 in the best out of 5. So, something to keep in mind going into this game. Could be in for another upset. It's not like we're immune to them today. Come on, Seattle getting the win over San Francisco. I have to go back to that. It's a good one to look back at and go, oh damn, basically. So, but that being said, let's get a look at the lines for both sides. Gowanda Outlaws, Philadelphia Demons. Well, folks, we get ready to go. Lamborghini leading the way for the Gowanda Outlaws, and Silver Molina leading the way for the Philadelphia Demons. Some fresh grease on the field as we work it in here. But did a little bit more research, and if the Demons were to lose today in regulation, the Blades would actually take first place in. The Blades would take first place in the league if the Demons lost this game in regulation. Keep that in mind. So Lamborghini and Silver Molina, game on. So the Demons fighting for first place right now. Because the Demons have played one extra game. Right now the Blades have the record that the Demons have. They've already had their bye this season. That being said, we get our first flip of the game. It's on both sides. Silver Molina down, as was Lamborghini. So the score, 5-5. To bring out 2 lightweight defensive cars. Sonic Boom out there for the Gowanda Outlaws, and Green Demon out there for the Philadelphia Demons. But yes, 18-3-0-2. It's Philly's record now, and that's LA's record after getting that win over Nevada. And both these cars go down. So Green Demon and Sonic Boom both out of the game. So the score, now 10-10. So now we will have the face-off between Hammer and Pink Indy. So here we go. Hammer and Pink Indy going at it. Pink Indy goes down. And the score now 15-10 Gowanda, which will bring out Hawkeye for the Demons, looking to force overtime. It's been a pretty good 5-point gainer, good defensively, and this time he is down clean on a little gray shot, and the Outlaws pull off the upset, and the Blades will have first place in the Car Demolition League. 18-3-0-2 beats 18-4-0-2. But a great game here. 15-10 the final score. The Gowanda Outlaws getting the win over the Philadelphia Demons. Big win for Gowanda here today, and a tough squad. And like I said, Hammer was instrumental in knocking Philly out of the playoffs just last season. And he was instrumental in them getting the win here today. He goes 2-0 for the 15-10 win in our main event. So the Blades are the new leaders in the Car Demolition League. We do have a new team in first place at the end of this game day here. Now, of course, both teams are tied at 56 points at the top of their respectable conferences, and really they are tied with each other. But something to keep in mind is that the Demons do have one extra loss from playing one extra game. So the Demons going into a bye on the April 18th game day, while the Blades will try to hang on to first place in the league when they host the Portland Panthers. Not an easy task. Portland going to be well rested. They had a bye today as well as Buffalo did. But that being said, the Gowanda Outlaws, their next game, in case you're wondering, on the road against the Boston Vandals, yet another divisional venture for them. Next CDL Live, the North East Division will star again. And another one of Tim's teams, actually, is Hartford Homies home against the Buffalo Warriors. That will main event our April 18th edition of CDL Live. Other games happening, Washington Patriots up against the Milwaukee Mob. That's our leadoff game. And then the Houston Oilers and the Idaho Cowboys go head-to-head in the mid-feature. That is all on the April 18th edition of CDL Live. That and plus all the highlights from across the league. Puerto Rico and Dayton going to go head-to-head. Atlanta and Pittsburgh. Shane Geiser's two teams, Miami and Bradford, go head-to-head. And then, of course, Portland and LA should be a fun one there. San Diego, Nevada, so it's Lightning versus Thunder. I mean, you know, it's going to be on the highlight reel of the next edition of CDL Live. So that being said, we're going to get to these stand-ins, let you listen to the theme songs and the current division leaders, you know, all that fun stuff and whatnot. We are done here on the April 15th. If I can make what's spelling right. We are done here on the April 15th game day. But that being said, folks, thank you for watching. James Hulse here, owner and creator of the Car Demolition League. Appreciative for every bit of support that you give. Till next time, folks, take care of yourselves, be yourselves, and peace.
I love LA. Big Sad, California, yes, still applies to me. Everybody got something to say.